What's going on, guys? Bankrob Games here, more Fallout 3, Tale of Two Wastelands. And when we left off, we explored Paradise Falls, got the remaining bobblehead there, and cleared out all the raider type enemies that were there, which was pretty cool. So I recommend going back and watching last episode if you haven't seen it. For this episode, we're going to kick things off by heading over to Canterbury Commons. And this is to do a really fun side quest that's definitely plays on the sort of wackier side of the Fallout games. Then we got quite lucky there. Didn't mean to reload there. No idea what the sentry bots were firing at. Now go in the distance there. I'll wait till daytime.
Everybody likes a compliment. Sweet America, hello again.
A little bit of a bug there with one of the iBots. Funny. And while we're here,
another glorious day in this man's army.
we're just going to pick up
All
RL3
right,
again.
pleased to see you, sir. Is there a mission to undertake? I should definitely say so. Time to roll out.
I'll give us the perk back. Can see
Looking to trade.
Very Commons is quite cool as well. All the trade caravans come through
If
here.
clothes make the man, then here are the means to remake yourself. Give me a shout if
As we come into Canterbury Commons, there'll be this going on.
Tremble before the might of the antagonizer.
You'll never get away with terrorizing this town. Not while it's under the protection of the Mechanist.
You and your pathetic tin cans are no match for my army.
The citizens of this town have nothing to fear. The Mechanist is here to protect them.
We'll see about that. Attack, my ant soldiers! Destroy this fool and his tin toys.
Go forth, my steadfast creation!
They killed themselves.
Humans may be weak sometimes, but our creations are strong and pure. Something you'll never be.
Fool! Humanity's creations were the seeds of their undoing. And now, the world will belong to the antagonizer!
Yeah, kind of funny.
Are you all right? You aren't hurt, are you? I'd like to apologize for the rude welcome. Those two have been a bit of a problem lately. Name's Rowe. Uncle Rowe to most. Welcome to Canterbury Commons. For what that's worth.
Got these sort of two comic book type characters. Well, they are comic book characters within the Fallout universe. And yeah, waging battle in the middle of the streets.
The, Mechanist and the Ant Agonizer. That's just what they call themselves. It's ridiculous, I know. A while ago, we were attacked by the Ant Agonizer, that woman with the ants, obviously. The Mechanist saved the town with his robots. Well, that was all well and good, but I swear their fights are getting bigger, and it's been driving off the merchants. They simply won't leave. Oh, that's terrific. I knew you'd help out. Knew it in my gut, and it's never steered me wrong on a deal yet. Find where the Ant Agonizer and the Mechanist hide and convince them to stop or otherwise end their hostility, and you'll earn 200 caps. You only need to stop one of them, really. Nowadays, I think they only stay in Canterbury to fight each other. You drive a hard bargain, friend. But seeing how we haven't been able to solve the problem ourselves, fine. You've got a deal. But I expect results. Oh, and please do try to use some discretion. We already have plenty of would-be heroes starting wars in our streets. We don't need another. If it'll help... One day there was a crazy woman leading a bunch of ants into town. She said humanity was dead and the ants would inherit the earth, stuff like that. Well, that gave Dom plenty of time to line up a shot or two on the ants. She ran away, but every once in a while she'd stage an attack again. She wasn't much of a threat then. In fact, she was sort of entertaining at first. Gave everyone in town something to talk about. But when the Mechanists started fighting her, things got bad. Ants are easy to shoot, but add robots with lasers, it got real nasty. The Mechanist used to be our town mechanic, Scott Walensky. Quiet guy, but plenty fierce with a wrench and some solder. Guy used to take care of a robot that protected the town until it got torn up in one of the Ant Agonizer's lame little attacks. I guess he took it personal because he made a mechanical suit and called himself the Mechanist, said he would lead a robot army to fight her. Now he doesn't even respond to his name, and his robot army is more dangerous to the town than the ants ever were. My nephew Derek might know more about them. I swear it's all I can do to keep him from running into the fight whenever they come out. He might know more about where you can find them, but don't encourage the poor boy. He's had enough close calls. Good luck with those...
So it's not actually too much doing Canterbury Commons, as far as I'm aware, other than this sort of main little side quest.
When you find those two costume idiots, put a bullet in their heads for me.
Oh man, did you see it? Did you see it? The antagonizer was all like, "Fear me!" But the Mechanist was all, "Stop, evildoer!" The antagonizer, she's this evil supervillain who's trying to wipe out humans with her ants. And the Mechanist protects us with his robots. And when they fight in town, it's incredible! There's all these lasers and biting and blood, and it's crazy! And then my uncle says I need to stay inside. He says it's dangerous. This is serious business, Derek. Yeah, I guess. There's no one to play with. Everyone is so serious. It really kinda sucks. But the antagonizer's strong and forceful, and the Mechanist, he's smart and good. They make things fun. Well, exciting anyway. I bet it's awesome to be them. Maybe they'll let me be their sidekick. You mean the superheroes? Yeah, I'll try to watch all of their fights. That's easy. The antagonizer's suit makes her super agile, but I guess her ants are pretty weak on their own. Just watch out for her royal guard. The Mechanist robots are a lot tougher, and his suit makes him super smart. I don't think he has any weaknesses. Well, maybe one. Since he's a good guy, he's not as ruthless as the antagonizer. Like, he'd never hurt an innocent like me, if he could help it.
So I did get a little bit more information there with our Child at Heart perk.
I don't know much about her except she really, really doesn't like people. That's kinda cool. I mean, sometimes people are jerks. I think her lair is somewhere in the caves to the north of the city. I've seen her ants down there once in a while. Joe Porter said he found out something about her, but my uncle won't let him tell me. He says, don't encourage the poor boy. I knew the Mechanist back when he was just a normal hero. He used to be called Scott. Then he fixed up stuff around town. But one day, the antagonizer killed his favorite robot, and I told him he ought to fight back against her like a real superhero. Ever since then, he's been up on his forge, in the back of the robot shop on the hill, working to protect us all from the antagonizer. I don't know much about her, except I think her lair is somewhere. Joe Porter said he found out something.
Whatever you can do to help our town, we'd appreciate it.
Just stumbled into town? You sure picked a fine day for it, with the crazies out there. Here, have a drink on the house. Welcome to Canterbury. I'm Joe Porter. I make sure folks around here can get a meal when they need it. We do our best. Well, Dom and Ro do their best. I just make sure they've got enough food so they can keep on doing their best. You ever find yourself starving around here, drop by Dot's Diner. We don't charge much, but don't expect any more freebies. You mean apart from having cheesy names? Actually, I think I might know something useful. One of the traders told me she sounded like a girl he used to know. Girl's whole family was wiped out by ants. Not long before she showed up here. But they never found any trace of her body. Said her name was Tanya Kristoff. That might just be our little antagonizer.
So we got some more information about the antagonizer. It might come up. Might be useful for us to know. Here, if you look on the map, you'll notice we've got a quest mark for the robot repair centre and the antagonizer's lair. And this quest has multiple choices how you deal with it. You can take out both of them so they're no longer a threat. You can talk to both of them. You can join forces with either one to take out the other one, which is pretty cool. And each of those choices have their own rewards, but I think the best option is to dissuade the antagonizer. She then gives you her armour, which you can turn into the mechanists, and then you can talk to the mechanists and he'll give you a really cool laser pistol called Protector and Gaze. We can do that. There is a way of getting a unique sort of knife type weapon called Ant Sting off the antagonizer. I think the only way to get it is by taking her out though. I don't find it that useful. It's quite cool as a weapon, you know. Getting this sort of comic book based weapon, but it's not very powerful. It's not very powerful from what I remember. But all three of the antagonists there, we do have to be careful not to set off any of their traps. Trip lines here. And we have got the light step perk, so we'll be fine. I will point out as many of them as I can remember that there are. I'm not sure if that is triggered to do damage to you at all. But overall, it's just a really zany quest, not to be taken too seriously. It's quite short but very fun, and you can get a few very unique rewards for doing it. There's another mine there and one here, and you have to be very careful of those two because they will blow up this generator, which will then do extra damage to you. And I'm just picking up mines to give us something to sell. Another way of making a bit of money. Obviously, we're heading into the antagonist lair, so we will have to be careful about some ant enemies. Generally speaking, they shouldn't sort of pose too much of a threat. That's if we can land our shots. So here is the antagonizer's lair. Pretty cool. Let's see what she has to say.
So at last, you've penetrated the court of the antagonizer, queen of all ants. Were you sent by that meddling mechanist? He'll learn that no one can stand before my royal regimen of fighting ants. Explain yourself. Why shouldn't I have my pretties kill you where you stand?
So you can see we've got different options here. The sort of more peaceful option, or an option that hints at a more peaceful outcome. Siding with her and just taking her out. We're going to try the peaceful option at the moment.
Haha! You would walk here and presume to command me? Humanity's time has come to an end. Your kind died because it knew only petty bickering and wars. But not so, the noble ant. It works with its brethren, knowing only loyalty and duty. And this is why they have grown, while humanity crumbled. Once I've finished with that pathetic mechanist, I will be free to spread my colonies across the wastes.
So if you have the Lady Killer perk, which is definitely one that's worth picking up, and you can unlock it fairly early, you can have basically a very quick way of resolving this. But again, you still have a few options here that lead to other outcomes, but we are going to pick this option.
You're wrong. Humans are cruel, hurtful beasts. They can't be saved. We can't be. I can't go back, but I can't keep doing this. I can't be as bad as they were. Not if someone like you believes in me. Please, I think I've made some terrible mistakes. If you really think I still have a chance, just let me go. I'll give you the suit. No one ever has to see the antagonizer again. Just please, let me have another chance.
Again, we have the option to betray her. But we're just gonna
Thank you.
let her
I
live her
don't know
life.
how I can just thank you.
But we do miss out on getting the ant sting by picking that option. Which is a bit of a shame. There is that Nuka-Cola Quantum on the throne. And here's
Morning.
obviously where she's been living.
Sir, I
Please,
am on the
just
lookout.
leave me alone. I want to leave all this behind me.
I think if you pick the option to take her out, a bunch of ants spawn in and she tries, you know, sort of to defend herself. You can obviously loot the key from her. But this is just a shortcut back to the outside world. It's right below where you go into the antagonizer's lair. So now all we've got to do is visit the Mechanist. There always tends to be someone outside.
Good to see you. Thanks for not attacking us. Most people don't tolerate ghouls. We were on our way to Underworld, but we couldn't make it past the super mutants. So now we're just going to find our own place in the Wasteland. Then leave.
Sometimes there's someone here and they mention the Mechanist, as far as I can remember. I'm not 100% sure.
Kill them all! Let God sort them out! That's how we do things in the U.S. Army. Hooah!
So there are some pulse grenades there that we're going to be able to make use of later on in this sort of level. Up there are turrets. If I remember correctly, there's also another way of disabling them. I might be thinking of a different location though. You can just go straight to the antagonizers, the Mechanists' lair. I'm thinking of the right location. If we sneak around here, thankfully we've got our stealth armor. And then make our way upstairs. We do have those pulse grenades, if we want to use those, but we do have another option, and that is in this terminal, just here. And shut down the turrets. Then I forgot we needed the encryption key in the safe, and that allows us to activate a pulse explosion. And again, that'll take out the turrets, and sometimes it can take out the Securitron as well. Then that's another way into the Mechanist Forge. But we'll make sure to come out that way.
Threat analysis. Green. Standing.
Seems like our good friend RL3's fit to fight with the turrets in the other room. On this table though, there's quite a few sort of crafting components, along with some ammo. And reactivate the terminal as well. No, reactivate the turrets as well. R3 definitely holding his own. And this is just on top of that other area where I pointed out the turret. Not quite sure where that sentry bot was going. No, definite accident with the platform there. Again, there tends to be just sort of more miscellaneous loot you can make use of. That is that door that opened automatically last time. And then we're going to take the elevator up to the Mechanist Forge. We can open the door. Not quite sure why the map isn't working. Strange.
Well done. You have defeated the vile antagonizer, and you've brought back her suit so that we may destroy the last taint of her villainy. Hand it to me, and I'll make sure that no one else can ever bear the mantle of the foul antagonizer. Excellent. The evil taint of the antagonizer will never darken the land again. Now that the antagonizer is taken care of, Canterbury Commons is safe. and for your loyal assistance. I'm honored to present you with this laser pistol, crafted from my last loyal robot assistant. May it guide you well. But the Mechanist cannot rest. Not while there's evil afoot in the Wasteland. Farewell.
So that did mean that we had to give him the antagonizer's armor, which we did lose. We can take it back though. You see, it's not very good. Damage threshold isn't very good. Damage resistance is okay, but it does have that minus charisma as well. And then the helmet isn't very good. And it just looks exactly the same as it did for when the antagonizer wore it. And then if you want the Mechanist's armor, you can obviously take him out and take it off his body, and then that means you can also pick up the antagonizer's armor back as well. I don't think the antagonizer's armor is worth it really. It looks quite cool and it's very unique, but it's not a great set of armor. So I was actually going to show this off from the other side, so I'll quickly run around the other side. I thought it was I could show that off going up the lift, but no, it's obviously the other door. You have to go into the Mechanist's lair. So come over this way where the turrets were. Take them out for a bit of XP. And this door here. Go into this seemingly empty room. Getting just more sort of miscellaneous loot. You might notice this patch on the wall looks a little bit different. And if you interact with the coffee machine here, probably get one of the most elaborate doors in any game ever. Pretty cool. And that obviously gives you a chance to speak to the Mechanist. And then if we look at the Protectron's gaze, we haven't got anything to repair it at the moment. Doesn't seem very powerful. 9x5 damage. When you repair it, it definitely improves. Looks really cool as well. Very unique. And yeah, basically acts like a shotgun pistol, but it's actually very accurate. Can get some range out of it. Then all we have to do now is head back to Canterbury Commons and get our reward.
With all of that fighting, I never did get to give you the official welcome to the town, did I? Welcome to Canterbury Commons, home of traders, caravanners, and most of all of excellent bargains. Here for business or pleasure? Damn near all of them, depending on which caravan's in town. Guns, armor, food, junk. Pretty much everyone swings by the old circle eventually. Everyone but slavers, that is. It's a hassle to transport their wares, as they say. Just as well, eh? Anything else I can do to welcome you to town?
Then we just talked to him, saying that we've dealt with the problem.
That's grand. I do believe it's fair to say you've saved Canterbury. And unlike that Mechanist, you did so with significantly less stress all around. Now, I do believe this is our agreed-upon payment for your fine services rendered, and a little bonus as a special thank you.
That does complete the Superhuman Gambit. Very fun quest. And I like the way that it gives you plenty of different sort of outcomes to pick from. And you know, you can get a lot of enjoyment out of replaying it and seeing what the other outcomes do.
What can old Uncle Ro do for you today?
But if we talk to Uncle Ro,
Ha! Damn near everything, I suspect. I founded the place myself, and I'm the reason this place stays fat and happy. Because I asked him to, I suspect. I grew up in these trade caravans, known most of them my whole life. I founded this place with my sister Daisy back in the day. Perfect stop along the caravan circuit. They're just small caravans that make rounds through the wastes, hawking their wares from Paradise Falls to Rivet City. They won't trade with anyone who's hit their friends, but that's about as organized as they get.
and then if we ask him about the caravans, we have this option here about organising the traders into the unified group.
I had thought about it, but some of these wasteland traders, well, they aren't exactly the organizational type. It'd take a pretty savvy businessman to make it worth their while to work together. Frankly, I'm not sure even I'm up to the task.
If you have the Master Trader perk, you can basically upgrade the caravans. I think it actually upgrades Uncle Ro's repair ability as well, if I remember correctly, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And this is one of the reasons why I was waiting till this level to come here and do this quest, because you unlock it at level 24, I think it is, and I think I mentioned that we'll be using it later on when we pick that perk, but we were coming here anyway, so it just made sense to get the perk beforehand.
My, when it comes to sales, I can see even I've got a few things I could learn from you. Well, in that case, I can act as your representative to the caravans. They'll listen to me, and I'll listen to you. Just let me know what you suggest in the way of specialties, and I'll let them know to focus on that area. Then you'd be looking for Lucky Harith, adventurer, martial artist, and occasional collector of the most deadly items known to mankind. He's a bit of an eccentric, but he deals in more weaponry than you can shake a sharp stick at. In fact, he's probably got a sharp stick, too.
So then you can go through all the caravans and tell him to expand the inventory, and if we have the Master Trader perk as well, we can do it for much less cap investment.
Harith's got quite a lot of weapons, but I'm sure he could improve his stock. An investment of 200 caps should see to that nicely. Well, your financial advice has never steered us wrong before. Done. If Harith were a less reputable man, I'm sure he could use his armory to collect even more weapons. But he's a merchant, not a raider, so it's legitimate means only. Like a legitimate investment of 500 caps. I suspect you're right. Done. That simply isn't feasible, I'm afraid. Harith's gear already rivals some mercenary armies. Anything further would be asking for trouble. Sure thing. Our man Crow handles most armor and clothing out on the trail. He grew up a tribal, but he traded in his loincloth for much snappier apparel long ago. It takes a fair amount of capital to expand into higher quality material, you know. Improving Crow's wardrobe would require a one-time investment of, say, 200 caps.
Again, we have the option
Well,
to
you're
half the
financial-
price.
Crow's armor is already rather extensive, but I'm sure it could be even more impressive for a one-time investment of 500 caps. Sure thing. Then you'll be wanting Doc Hoff, or the Good Doctor, as he prefers. He prescribes everything from a good meal to stim packs to things that'll make your brain get up and dance. The Good Doctor's lab equipment isn't cheap. It'll cost about 200 caps for him to offer higher quality material. Well, at this point, it would be hard to improve Doc's medicine cabinet without a significant investment. Say 500 caps should suffice for him to offer a whole cornucopia of pharmacopoeia. I That'd be Crazy Wolfgang. He does repairs and general supplies, but he prefers to call himself a junk dealer. As he says, he's overjoyed to assist those who have a deep need for his junk. He's just like that. Says it catches people's attention. With an investment of about 200 caps, I'm sure he could improve the quality of his materials, or at least offer more of them. Well, at this point it would require another pack Brahmin to carry his wares. But for 500 caps, I think he could offer more. I suspect you're right. Done.
So that is all the trade caravans improved. So next time their inventories refresh, they'll have much better stock or more stock, and they'll tend to have more caps as well that you can use to trade with them. And then thankfully Crow's here as well. If we talk to him after upgrading his caravan, we get a unique helmet.
And here you are. The spirits have blessed me with many gifts, but you have given the more marketable gift of monetary investment. Please accept this offering. A mask and helmet made from the hide of the wisest spirits of the wind. May it benefit you as fully as it has myself. If the clothes make the man, then here are the means to remake yourself.
So his vendor hasn't his inventory hasn't refreshed yet. It will in the future.
Hey.
And that does give us Crow's eyebot helmet. Does have that perception bonus. And yeah, it looks kind of funky. Put the flames on top there as well. No, I'm not sure if that's a TTW thing. I can't remember if it had flames on it in vanilla. But looking how long this episode has been, it has been quite a long one. But I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Like I said, the Superhuman Gambit's quite a zany quest, and it probably ranks up there with the Replicated Man as one of my favourite side quests of the game. But like I said, it's been quite a long episode, so I'm going to wrap it up here and have a think about what I'm going to be doing next episode. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode and been enjoying the series so far. If you have enjoyed the series, please like and subscribe for more, and then that way you won't miss out on anything. Also, any mods that I've mentioned throughout the video will be linked down in the description below. I don't think they have been in this episode, so there'll be some left over from last episode down in the description for you guys to try out for yourself. But thanks again for watching. Always appreciate having you guys here, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.